So I'm going to go over a quick tutorial of how to use this visualizer I'm providing you. So it's kind of simple. All you really need is 2 images, preferably your logo or a background or just any kind of picture that you want to have on here. So what you want to do is go to add content, add pictures, and find those 2 pictures. So what I used was a cloud picture, as you see here, and I also used my normal logo, which is this one right here. You can't see it because I turned on the lightness, but there it is. So I started off by adding the first layer and then adding a Youlean Blur, which is much better than the actual blur. I'll show you that here. So this is the Youlean Blur, and then this is the FL's basic blur. Not that good. So I used Youlean, and then after that I went to blooming, and this is where the real effects start. If you scroll over here, it's one of these. But when the audio plays, look at the brightness. Look how it increases. It's called iteration, but same difference. So just look at the image. You see the brightness change? That's what I edited using the ParameterShake. I'll go over that in a bit. So then I went on to use fluids, which already reacts to your voice or the audio. So I didn't have to edit that in the ParameterShake, which was really good because that would have taken a lot. And then we go on, we use the stripe peaks, which you can't forget for this visualizer. As you see, I edited the size and the ParameterShake because that was just the easiest way to do it. And then I also loaded in my logo and layered that on top of the parameter or stripe peaks. And then I also edited the size here. So we're going to get into the ParameterShake. This first one is going to be reacting with the C layer, which is the stripe peaks, and I simply just chose the size. How I did that was by counting down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I chose that parameter, and then I slightly edited the shake level. I made the shake level 0.11, so it's not too much. And then I adjusted the base level, which is just how big you have your thing. So I had it about here. You want to keep it around this size so that it doesn't take up too much of the video space, but you could have it however large you want. And then I also did that with my normal image. So I simply chose layer E, which is where my image was, or my logo, and then I counted down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is where the size was. And I chose that parameter, and then I also just increased that base value because its original was like really small. So I had about there, and that's about it for this tutorial. One thing I would want to point out is this fluids. Since there's a whole lot of effects, just leave it the same, or if you just want to experiment, I really do encourage that because that's how I learned ZGame, and it's actually a really powerful tool. A couple more tips is when you're making this and it doesn't look too smooth, just change the frame rate to 60, then it becomes much smoother. Also, when you export it, make sure that you go to advanced settings and you change it to 60 or however many frames you want it to run at per second. And that's all.